On the right-hand side of your office door, there's a little mail slot. And that mail slot's used for mail and also for tenants' rent checks when the office is closed. Someone comes along at night and fishes out a couple checks out of that drop slot. They take those checks and they wash the writing off of the checks and they put different amounts, different payees, and they steal money from your tenant's account. Can this happen? It does. My name is Harry Heist, and I'm the founding partner of Heist, Weisse Wolk, the property manager's partner. For many years, property managers have allowed tenants to pay their rent through a drop slot. These drop slots are not secure. They're usually just a little mail slot, and the tenant simply drops the check into this mail slot. It may go into an actual box. It may fall right on the floor of the office to the right-hand side of the door. They're definitely not secure. About 5 years ago, apartment communities in Florida began to be hit by what they think possibly is an organized crime ring of people going and fishing these payments out of the drop slots. They would fish money orders and checks out of the drop slots, then wash the checks, cash these checks, and then it would wreak havoc on the entire apartment community because now you've got a situation where rent has been stolen, and oftentimes the other tenants find out that rent's been stolen and they claim that they paid the rent and their rent must have been stolen. So apartment communities, for the most part, stopped. Most apartment communities jumped into action and they said, no more. No more drop slot rent acceptance. We're not going to do that anymore. The problem that we see, though, is many of our property management clients of single-family homes still use this old-fashioned system. They allow people to take the rent, put it in an envelope, or just put a check through a drop slot, and it goes inside the office after hours. We highly recommend against this. It needs to be stopped. It's old-fashioned, it's archaic, it's wrong. It will eventually lead to a situation where there is some theft and there's fraud. Not only can it be from the outside, but it could be somebody from the inside, possibly a cleaning person or possibly an employee who can get a hold of that when they come in the morning and they see these checks sitting in a little box or a drop slot on the side of your entrance door. We need you to understand that this happens. Don't wait until it happens to you. Learn from other people's mistakes. Learn that this is happening out there. When this happens to someone, they generally don't advertise it. You won't go to a NARPA meeting or an apartment association meeting where someone will raise their hands and talk about how checks or money orders were stolen out of their office. It's one of those things that happens, it's embarrassing, and it's not really discussed. But we hear about it. We know that it happens, and we know it can be stopped. Say no to accepting the rent through drop slots. If you need to, notify your tenants that maybe you've done it in the past, but beginning on a certain date, you will no longer be accepting rent in that fashion. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to email us at info@evict.com.